Okay, guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, I got $1 million question for you guys to answer. Who killed humanity? So, it's not $1 million question, by the way. It's $1 trillion question, I guess. And today, I'm gonna tell you what I'm thinking about that, and hopefully you guys will agree with me. If you don't agree with me, you can just comment out, and if you have anything else, we can discuss it, I guess. Okay, to answer this question, what I'm planning to do is I'm going to start about 2,000 years ago. Okay, let's start with Jesus. When Jesus actually left his hometown and went to Jerusalem, he was doing this trip many times. And in his last trip, actually, it was, I guess, Passover time. And he went to the temple and he saw that people are just exchanging money, selling money, actually, getting interest, and instead of worshiping God and talking about God and helping other people, maybe, and things like that, they were just doing business in temple. This is the main temple, which is supposed to be the biggest and the most important temple in for Jewish people. Okay, and they were doing just business there. It's even in Passover time. So during that period of time, Jesus went there and he saw these people doing all this crazy stuff, and he got mad, and of course he kicked all these tables and disturbed all these people. And he was actually preaching about, he was conveying the message of God to people for a long time in small villages and things like that, but no one actually did anything bad to Jesus during that period. But priests and some guys doing all this money exchange business in temple got disturbed by this, and then they went to Pontius Pilate and said that this guy came and he's disturbing us. Jesus is a Jewish guy, and Jewish people who's supposed to be praying in temple, they're exchanging money and they're earning money in temple and getting interest and doing all types of bad stuff, and including the priests and the other guys in temple. They went and they complained about Jesus. And at the end, Pontius Pilate actually arrested him, and you know the rest of the story. Okay, let's move on. Let's go to Crusaders. You know, there are some people who were planning to save Jerusalem from Muslims, and they established this, let's say, union, and Crusaders started coming together in Europe, and they went all the way to Jerusalem and saved Jerusalem from Muslims. And then they started getting into the banking stuff. These guys were actually doing what today's money transfer companies and money transferring banks are doing. You can actually deposit your money in Paris, in Europe, in different places, and you can go to, let's say, Jerusalem, and then there you can spend your money. You can get your money there, and then with some interest and things like that, of course, some fees, and then you can, of course, spend your money there too. So this system, established by Crusaders and operated by them, and actually some of them got so rich that they were one of the richest guys in Europe, in different cities. If you check the history, you will see that. That's an interesting thing. Okay, let's move on in history. Now we are in 15-ish, 1500 something, 15, 14, 17 or something like that. Martin Luther, he was planning to become a priest and a good person in faith. So he was going to church and he was trying to learn Bible, and he was spending some series of time. If you know Martin Luther, he was actually planning to become a lawyer, and then he got some problems on the way to his village, and then he decided to become priest. Spend his rest of the time in praying God and helping other peoples and things like that. And he was studying Bibles, and he was trying to be a good person, but he saw that Catholic Church was selling what they called indulgences on that day, a piece of paper signed by Pope, and Pope was actually sending people to heaven. So if you pay money and buy that paper, you would go to heaven in hereafter on Judgment Day. If you show up with this piece of paper signed by Pope, angels will just say that, oh, okay, welcome, go pass over and go to heaven and pick any place you want. That's the way, I guess, they were planning that it will work. So they were selling these piece of papers all over Europe, and collecting money from people. And of course, they weren't planning to spend this money on poor and needy and other people, or on single moms with crying babies, I guess. They were planning to do that. So looks like they didn't care about helping other people. They were just getting that money for their own goods and for their own pockets and palaces that they're going to be building to live in and things like that. But of course, Martin Luther got mad about this, and they excommunicated him. And then, he got into some other Protestant movement and things like that. You guys most probably know better than me. And So it's crazy that it's always the same pattern. Some people are just using religion to get more money or earn money for their own good. So they are after their own pockets, not God. Okay. So let's move on to Muslims now. Let's see what they do. After Prophet Muhammad died, maybe 40 years after that, I guess, I'm not sure about exact year, they killed his grandsons. Who killed? The guys were actually, uh, because during that period of time, people were just getting into Islam, and a lot of from different places and from different cultures all around the Middle East, people were just getting into Islam and becoming Muslims. So they were, of course, collecting a lot of, since it's Islamic State, they were collecting a lot of money, taxes, and they were building big palaces and with a lot of rooms in it, a lot of women in it. So they don't want to get disturbed by anybody who is against this setup. So if anybody says that if you are a true believer, you're supposed to be actually helping other people, you're supposed to be spending your own money on other people, on needies, and you're supposed to be a person like this. Jesus spent his time telling the same: believe in God, believe in hereafter, and be a nice person, and be just on other people. And the same thing is conveyed by Prophet Muhammad. Actually, all the prophets throughout the history, they conveyed the same message. Nothing is different. So they're just saying the same thing. But looks like in every religion we're talking about, no one actually believes any of these stuff. No one is actually following their prophets. They're just following their pockets. They're not following their God or whatever they believe. They're just following what they earn and their pockets and their benefits. If you check, there are a lot of Muslim countries governed by tyrants, and those tyrants, they drive golden cars, golden airplanes, but next to them, their neighbors, they are starving to death, and they're in big trouble, and they don't care. And they say that they are Muslims. And I got a good news for those Muslims. God hates Muslims. Yeah. Because if a person says that he is a Muslim, be careful with that guy. Yeah. Be careful with that guy. But if any person says that he is a true believer, he is a man of faith, then don't worry about that guy. Go all the way to wherever needs to be gone with that guy. There is no problem there. If a person is a true believer, doesn't matter whether you're Christian or Jewish person or some other Muslim countries, people, doesn't matter who you are. If you, I guess, believe in God and believe in hereafter and be a nice person first, that's exactly what I guess God wants from people. And really, God hates the other people. Because other people who just follow their own goods and their own pockets will use religion, will use religious books and religious institutes and things like that. And then they will actually destroy other people's belief, and also they will destroy the humanity because no one will anymore believe in both religion and also in believe in being good, because there's no reason. Why should I be a good person? There is no need. But really, it doesn't matter what religion you are in. If you are a man of faith, if you believe in God, and if you believe in hereafter, which means that someday God will tell you what you did during your worldly life and how you spent it and why you did some stuff there, you will be judged and punished or blessed at the end. If you know that, that's why believe in hereafter is important, I guess. Then the next step is be a good, decent human being. If you are not a good, decent human being who doesn't have any moral values, you are just bullshit. You are some idiots wasting your time on this planet, and you will be the fuel for the hellfire. That's what all the holy books says. I'm not saying it. Yeah, if you read all these holy books, yeah, Bible, Torah, Quran, they all say the same thing. If you believe, so reading all these books, still, if you are just thinking about your pockets and not being a good human being, not just to other people, then there's no need to help crying baby with single mom. There's nothing. You can just establish that church to collect money so that on Sunday you can enjoy life, barbecuing and doing, I don't know what they used to do, what they do. Or if you're a Muslim on Friday praying, you can go and you can reset yourself, all the bad things you do during the weekdays. That's the way you believe. And then you can start being a shitty person again. And then since you know that on Friday you can just reset everything, that's a good way of resetting your book. So yeah, I guess, yeah, the answer to this question is just that all these religious looking bullshit, just money chasing guys, killed the humanity. That's why today so many people don't believe in religion, don't believe in being a good, decent person, because they don't see any example. If anybody out there is a good example, uh, it's just toasted and tortured and put in prison, and his businesses will be destroyed because they don't want any good, decent example in the society. It's unfortunately the same in every country. So those bullshit, religious looking, but chasing money idiots are the ones who killed the humanity. Yeah. Have a nice day.